Today's program is sponsored by The Anthony Vincent Salon. Say hello to beautiful.
You're listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot and what's not. Get into the loop with us. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Elise, and we're your radio gateway to what's trending with beauty, fashion, health, wellness, and sex.
Mostly sex.
Learn and laugh with us anytime, any place. Go right to our website, anthonyvincentsalon.com. Click away and listen today.
You'll be glad you did.
Yes, you will be.
Wow, what another great show.
Another? What another?
Another great show.
What another great show.
Every great show.
Every great show deserves what?
I don't know, you tell me.
It deserves to be listened to by our fabulous audience.
Of course, and even the ones who aren't our audience should be listening.
Yes, because we're fabulous.
Yeah, and
because it's us. So what have you got for me?
Well, you know, we're going to be talking about how low blood sugar can ruin your love life.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, that could be bad.
Yeah, I guess anything.
Yeah, anything that ruins your love life could be bad.
Yep, yeah.
Especially low blood sugar.
Mm-hmm. But before we talk about that, we're going to talk about a very interesting story.
Okay.
So, I got a video. Someone sent me a video to my email, and it was about a baby elephant. And the baby elephant was trying to climb over this little bump.
Uh-huh.
and the elephant climbs, a baby, tiny little thing. And he climbed up and he fell over.
Aww.
And he let out a cry.
Aww.
And 3 big elephants came running
to save the little elephant.
And you watched these elephants with their trunks upright the baby elephant, because the baby elephant was on his back on a hill and couldn't get it.
And they picked the little baby up?
Yes, but
with their trunks?
With their trunks.
Isn't that amazing?
Absolutely amazing. And they came running to this little guy's rescue.
That is just the sweetest thing ever. I love elephants. They're so gentle.
Yes.
They're just so lovely.
And they are so smart.
Yeah, they're so smart. And
evidently very, very maternal.
Absolutely. Well, obviously. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Aw, that is a sweet story.
Well, I was reading about another story, and after seeing this video quite by accident, I'm just doing a little bit of reading, and I came across this article called "The Gentle Beast," and the article says that a situation that could have been tragic turned out to be remarkable, and this happened in West Bengal, India. It seems as though an elephant went on a rampage and was stomping through the town, just crashing through everywhere. And what it did is it crashed into a home of a family, and it broke down the wall of a baby's room.
Now, why did this elephant go on this rampage?
Well, the article didn't say. It just, sometimes they get frustrated because, in India, elephants are, I don't want to say pets, but they're beasts of burden. And they're,
oh, really?
Yeah, and they move things, and sometimes elephants get a little frustrated. And in fact, that's why Barnum and Bailey Circus doesn't have any elephants anymore. If you go to the circus, there are no more elephants at Barnum.
Really?
Yes.
I haven't been to the circus in so many years. Oh. I love the circus, and I used to go to Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus all the time. In fact, we had box seats because my father did a lot of work for some of the higher ups. He was an accountant, and so he did a lot of their work, and we used to always go. And I used to love the circus, and we used to see all kinds of different actors and actresses because they were in the box seats too.
Oh, how very cool.
So we would meet them, and they would sign our playbills for us. How lovely. But anyway, aside from that, we used to love the circus. And my sisters used to get to ride the elephants because they would get kids from the audience, and they would always go, to where the higher seats were. And my sisters used to go. I never went. I just thought it was kind of gross and it smelled. But aside from that, I used to love the elephants and just watching them. And oh, that's a shame that they
Yeah.
don't have them anymore in the circus.
Well, my first job was at a little circus in Florence. I was a teenager, and my job was to follow the elephant parade with a little shovel and a bag.
Oh, nice.
That was my job. I scooped up
Wow.
the elephant poop.
Wow. Okay, then. And why don't you go on with the story now?
Oh well, if you're ever in Africa and you are thirsty and there's no water around and you find a herd of elephants, you can actually pick up the dung, squeeze it, and water will come out.
On that note, I think I'd rather be dry.
Well, keep that story in mind, because I have something a little bit later on in our show that we're going
I'm
to talk about.
sure you do. I have no doubt.
But getting back to our elephant, this pissed off elephant was breaking down walls and trampling over cars and carts and rammed into this house, and it broke down the wall of the baby's room in this house. And as the elephant started backing away, the baby started crying. And that seemed to have an impact on the elephant.
Wow. So what did the elephant then do?
Well, it returned to the baby and started removing the chunks of the wall that he broke down with his trunk.
Oh, so he was making sure the baby was safe.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes, those maternal instincts
It's
kicked
amazing.
in.
See, it's amazing. I guess, the elephant didn't realize what was happening at the time because the elephant was so angry. So breaking apart all of the wall. But then when the baby cried, I guess he came to.
He came to, absolutely.
Wow.
All
What a
the anger went away.
What an amazing thing that is about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are just beautiful animals, I believe. I just think they're incredible.
The baby only had just a couple of scratches just from the pieces of the broken wall.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank God the baby was okay. That could have definitely been a lot more tragic. Mm-hmm. But wow. Very cool. Very cool stories.
Yeah, I just got the chills when I read this.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I was just picturing the video of the elephant flipping
Sure.
the little baby elephant back over, and I'm thinking,
Yeah.
my God.
Wow. Very cool. Love it. We definitely need to go see an elephant.
Yes, I.
Seriously. We need to. We need to go see an elephant.
Okay.
I want to see an elephant.
Okay. You know what I'll do? Maybe a little later on in break, I'll do my impersonation of an elephant.
Yeah, that's not going to do it for me. I want to go to the zoo.
Okay. But hey, how about that woman in that Canadian city? What's it called? Quebec. She was in Montreal, Quebec.
What about that woman,
Well,
that Canadian
I
woman?
heard this story. It was really, silly. But she likes to go with the flow of traffic in her electric wheelchair.
Oh, no. So
Yes.
how does she keep up?
Well, apparently the woman thought that her electric wheelchair, was every bit as capable as a car, and there was no reason why she couldn't ride it on the freeway during rush hour.
Oh, my God. See, I did not hear this story, but that just sounds, oh, God. Oh, that could have been a very, very bad situation.
Oh, it could have been. Now, the police. And,
The police.
Right, the police came. They got reports of this wheelchair was slowing down the traffic. So they didn't believe it, and they went to investigate. And when they got there, they found that the lady was attempting to merge into the fast lane from the shoulder of the road.
Are you kidding me?
No.
What would make her think that that's okay? I just...
She felt as though
She's-
her wheelchair was a motor-operated vehicle, and
But it's not like... It doesn't have any doors or anything covering her.
either does a motorcycle.
That is correct, but it's not as fast as a motorcycle.
No, I understand this. My dad has one of those scooters.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I understand the reason why she might think that because it's electric and it moves, but it doesn't. What is the fastest that it goes? 10 miles an hour?
Well, that's how that's how they drive in Florida. The seniors in the
Yes, but
fast
she was
lane.
in Canada.
Well, maybe Quebec is like Florida.
It's not.
Oh, no.
No.
I've never been there. So I couldn't
Okay,
tell you.
it's not, and it's not like Florida. I understand if she was in Florida, then I would have no problem with this. But she's not. She's in Canada. Or any other
that
place.
explains it right there.
Yeah, well, no. I love the Canadians.
I do
Come
too.
on, give me a shout. Come on. They're awesome.
Hey.
Yeah, no. Canada's awesome.
All righty.
All right.
So what,
Well-
what about California?
Wait. All right. It's all right. But let me just ask you one more thing about
Sure.
the little Canadian wheelchair thing. What did they do to her, the police?
Oh, well, they just led her to an off ramp for her own safety and let her drive home.
Let her... She wheelchaired home.
Yeah,
Okay.
she drove home in her
Okay.
electric
All
wheelchair.
right. Oh, that's a riot.
Yeah, but I have a really tender story
Okay, a tender story.
about an elderly couple, and they are from California,
Okay.
and they couldn't afford to pay their veterinarian bills for their little 14-year-old Dachshund named Otto.
Otto.
Yeah, they had a vet
How
bill.
cute is that?
Yeah.
So they couldn't afford to pay their bill.
No. So,
And so what happened?
well, they were forced to leave their pet in the shelter.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's what happens if you don't have the money to pay the vet bill. The vet keeps your.
They keep your animal?
They keep your animal.
Oh,
Yes,
my
they do.
God.
And
They don't even set up a payment plan or anything?
I guess it depends on the place, but
Because I can't imagine that. Because, I mean, sometimes, unfortunately, there's really not any other choice. I mean, if you have, an animal, your animal is part of your family. I mean, I know my dog and my cats are like my kids, and if there's something wrong with them, I go to the vet and, I have to take them to the doctor. I mean, they need, attention, they need treatment. But, sometimes there's something really, really wrong and it's tragic. And sometimes your bill could be $5,000. And what if you don't have $5,000 to pay your vet bill?
you don't get your dog back. That's what
not,
happens.
No,
Or your cat.
no. I
Yes,
can't
yes,
imagine.
yes,
no,
yes.
they have to work out a payment plan. Come on.
There are some places that will do that.
That's
but
ridiculous.
That is worked on before the animal is taken care of.
I am horrified they kept this poor couple's little doggy. Oh, that is ridiculous.
So, well, anyway, this is what the couple did. They left a note with the dog, I guess, pinned to his collar, saying that, Otto's has a medical problem and asking that he not be put to sleep.
Okay.
So what they did is Otto was taken to this foster animal care organization called, I love this, Leave No Paws Behind.
Leave no paws behind. That is lovely.
Yes. And if
Okay.
you guys want to, and our listeners want to, donate to them, I think that would be a great thing.
Okay. Well, that is awesome. We can donate to them as well.
Yeah.
So, but moving forward, what about the couple? Did they get their baby back?
Well, what happened was No Paws Behind. The staff there successfully treated him. And here's the thing. They tracked down this couple and they happily offered to provide the free medical care that the dog needed for the rest of the dog's life.
Oh.
Does that bring a tear to your eye?
Yeah. Yeah. That is awesome. Yeah.
I thought so too.
That's awesome. That's the thing. This couple obviously had this doggy for quite some time. 14 years. And you know how you feel about your pets. I know how you are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I am also.
My pets call me Big Daddy.
Yeah, your pets?
Yes, they
you
do.
sure about that? You sure it's your pets that speak
yes.
and say those words? Uh-huh. So, but that's just really sweet. I just love that story. I love that they got their little baby back and that they're going to have him for as long as they can.
Yeah. The couple was just overjoyed.
Of
It brought tears
course.
to their eye.
It brings tears to my eyes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good story, Anthony.
I knew you'd like it.
I love it.
Don't touch that dial. You're going to hear a word from our sponsor. And who's our sponsor?
Us.
And we'll be right back.
Need a salon that's about the whole you? Precision haircuts, flawless makeup, impeccable nails, top-rated professional hair products. Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a hairstylist who has his finger on the pulse of all the latest trends? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a dependable salon with over 35 years in the industry? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for New York City and internationally trained stylists that will create the perfect look for you? Anthony Vincent Salon. Shine brightly while walking down the aisle. Anthony Vincent Salon. For longer, thicker, beautiful hair extensions, Anthony Vincent Salon. Incredible makeup applications for weddings, proms, or any special occasions. Anthony Vincent Salon. Have dry, brittle summer hair? Get a hot shot. Anthony Vincent Salon. Before you put a ring on it, manicure it. Anthony Vincent Salon. Your image is their specialty. For the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Anthony Vincent Salon. For a more beautiful you, call now 609-448-2212 and follow them on Twitter.
And we're back.
Yeah, we're back. Mm-hmm.
So, Elise, I have had, I don't know what, but the last couple of shows, I'm like intrigued with poop.
I know. I don't understand what's wrong with you. It's not just the last couple of shows, though. It's like all the time you talk about pooping and farting, and it's.
Well, farts are funny. Poop is serious.
I don't think farts are so funny. Especially.
Stu, are farts funny? Farts are funny.
Can you imagine, honestly, though, your co-host sitting here and, all of a sudden you can't breathe and you're wondering? That is not funny.
Listen, you only passed gas that one time and we had to clear out the studio. It was just the one time.
I can't believe you. That's not true. Oh, my
Heck,
God.
it isn't.
That's not true.
And they say girls don't fart. They poodle. But let me tell you, girl, you let it rip.
I cannot.
It was like this green smoke billowing over the microphone.
You are such a liar.
We had to open the door and run out of the studio. It was unbelievable.
Nose just hit Stu in the face. You are such a liar. Oh, God, the king of lies. Ay, ay, ay.
Well, anyway, talking about poop.
Yeah, what about it now?
I was reading about a poop pill.
A poop pill?
Yes, poop.
A poop pill.
Yes, and it means what you think it means.
What does it mean?
Well, it's gross, but it's true. These so-called poop pills are being used to treat diarrhea caused by a bacteria called Clostridium difficile, or C. diff. I think I pronounced it right.
I have no idea.
Yeah, there's a lot of words that I can't pronounce
that I
right.
can't even imagine ever saying or having to have a conversation about, because I can't imagine why we're always talking about this.
Okay, well, let's call it C. diff.
Okay.
So our digestive intestines, rather, are filled with all different kinds of bacteria.
Right.
And most of them live very, very happy there.
Okay, so we have a lot of bacteria that lives happily inside us.
Yes, and they don't invade, they don't attack. The intestine, it's their home.
How lovely.
Yeah. Well, the C. diff bacteria, that lives in our belly.
Right.
But very, very low numbers.
Right.
Okay. Now, it's low because the other bacteria in the intestines outcompete the C. diff for the nutrients.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the problem starts when you start taking antibiotics.
Okay. So when you're not feeling well, when you're sick, when you're having any kind of health issue and you take an antibiotic, this makes the good bacteria in your body react?
Antibiotics they don't discriminate. They kill all bacteria.
Right. Okay.
Good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
that's true. That is absolutely the truth.
Mm-hmm. So every antibiotic is good at killing some type of bacteria, and it doesn't always have an effect on other types. That's why a doctor will choose a particular type of antibiotic based
depending on what your illness is.
Right, and
correct.
what type
your
of infection you have.
Exactly.
And how to treat it. So these antibiotics don't often kill the C. diff bacteria.
Okay.
Okay, so what happens is that this allows the C. diff to multiply because it's killing all the other bacteria, good and bad.
Okay, so then your good bacterias are dying, but
As well as the bad bacteria.
correct, but the C. diff is actually multiplying.
Yes, because most antibiotics
Don't kill that.
Don't kill the C.
So this one's multiplying and doesn't have any of the good bacteria to help your body.
to help eat it.
Okay.
So and once that C. diff takes hold in your stomach, the C. diff creates toxins that cause diarrhea, fever, abdominal pain,
And it becomes very toxic.
and life-threatening.
Correct. People have died from that, actually.
Oh,
There have
yeah.
been there have been numerous stories about that. I don't know if you remember. I forgot the little girl's name. The little one that was in the Poltergeist, movie years ago.
Yep.
And that's honestly what she died from.
Really?
Years ago, yeah. If you look that up, you can look that up. That little adorable little blonde one that said, "They're here." Remember that?
I didn't know she died.
Yes, she did. Dominique, I forgot her. I forgot it. But anyway, you can look it up. Poltergeist, the first movie. Anyway, that was the situation. And when we were younger, we were little, we were like, oh my God, she died because of like a pooping situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
see?
we were like, what? That's crazy. But upon, understanding it, that it was something having to do with the bacteria in her system. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
I never heard of it before until a friend of mine got it. And she went to a couple of different doctors and they didn't know what it was. She finally wound up at Princeton Hospital, and there just happened to be this doctor that lived in the hospital that came in. They called him in, and he just is brilliant. And he said, "I think I know what this is."
That reminds
But
me of
no one
Dr.
even-
House.
Yeah, he's like Dr.
Yeah,
House.
Dr. House would have known what it was. Like,
Yeah.
he always knows everything.
Or
good.
my favorite doctor,
I'm
Dr.
glad your
Addis.
friend's. I'm glad your friend's poop situation is fine.
Yeah, yes. Well, so how do you think the treatment for C. diff begins?
I am not a doctor. I do not know.
Stopping the antibiotics that triggered it in the first place.
Well, that I can understand, but what if you have a situation like strep throat, for instance, or you have, some sort of health issue that requires an antibiotic?
Well, you need to be very closely monitored. And if you've ever had C. diff before, you have to be very, very careful. Let your doctor know. But what would trigger it, and I'm not a doctor, this is just from my experience, from my friend, when they give you X amount of antibiotics, and it's usually no more than 2 weeks. Do not go on antibiotic treatment for longer than 2 weeks.
It's interesting. Typically, they'll give you an antibiotic. It was a 10-day deal.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they came up with the, Zithromax for 5 days. Anytime I've ever taken an antibiotic, which that typically I don't get sick, anytime I've ever taken an antibiotic, I've never gone more than 3 days with an antibiotic.
Well, you never get sick.
Thank God. But the reason that I would never take anything past the 3-day mark, I actually had a conversation once with a pharmacist. And the pharmacist actually told me, because we were having a very serious conversation, the pharmacist actually told me that it's actually bad for you to take antibiotics.
That's right.
And he only goes on for 3 days, and that's enough time. I don't agree with it. You have to talk to your doctor, but I did it for myself. That's enough time for your body to start to heal, and then you can go from there. So 3-day mark there.
There you go. You heard it from Elise, and she knows. But, there's only a handful of antibiotics that specifically kill the C. diff.
Okay.
And
do you know what they are?
Yeah, I do. I don't recall off the top of my head, but I can tell you that the one that works is $5,000 for a 1-month supply.
Now, will your insurance cover that?
you have to beg them and fight, scream, and scratch to get them to cover that.
Wow.
And this is crazy because if you go into the hospital and you are admitted, they will give you that antibiotic that only kills this C. diff, and they'll pay for the hospital and the doctors and the treatment, which would be tens of thousands of dollars, and not pay for this particular pill that kills the C. diff.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I don't understand.
See, that's amazing. Is this a contagious situation?
C. diff is contagious.
Wow. So you have to be also very careful.
Yes.
If, when you're, oh, wow. So then how do you handle something like that?
You see the doctor and you go to the hospital and you follow directions.
So what about the people that, you live with or that you're close to?
Well, you need to make certain that you wash your hands.
Well, okay, so it's not contagious if you're just saying hello, hugging somebody, kissing somebody. It's really basically if you're, okay, and thank God most people do wash their hands.
Not everybody.
After they go to the bathroom. I would think that they should, of course, especially if you're, let's just say it, pooping.
That's
definitely wash your hands and use, I guess, extra caution.
I never take the mints at the restaurant or the diner after leaving and paying because those
unless they're wrapped because some places do have them wrapped. Yeah, those big bowls of those delicious little dinner mints that I used to love so much when I was a little girl. Yeah, I would never ever. I still can't believe that even though they keep a spoon in there, people reach in there and they stick their dirty little hands in there and yuck. After they've coughed and sneezed all over themselves.
That's right. Went to the bathroom without washing.
What is that? Who goes to the bathroom and doesn't wash their hands? I think that's unbelievable. And they even have signs reminding you, to wash for the employees, of course.
Yeah.
But that's just awful. I don't understand that. How do you not wash your hands after you go to the bathroom?
That's a whole nother show there.
I guess it must be.
I'm going to look for stuff about washing your hands after you.
Because you need to wash your hands. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Okay, back to C. diff.
Yes. Now, there's another problem that the antibiotic resistance of bacteria has grown, and
what do you? I'm not understanding what you're saying.
The bacteria has grown resistant to the treatment with the antibiotics. The bacteria is stronger, and the bad bacteria doesn't die with the antibiotics anymore. It's become.
So then how do you handle a situation like this? Do you need to be hospitalized?
So now good question.
Okay.
So here's the answer.
Okay.
Doctors have been experimenting with another approach as opposed to these antibiotics.
Okay.
They're filling your stomach with bacteria that are C. diff's normal competitor. They're treating the bad bacteria with large numbers of good bacteria. Nice. Yeah.
Very nice.
The good bacteria are abundant in human feces.
Oh, wow. This is quite a situation.
What they do is...
You should see the look on his face right now, everybody. He's looking at me. He's got this little evil thing going on.
Well, you're going to love this.
I'm sure I'm going to love this.
Okay. They transplant the fecal material, yes, the poop, from a healthy donor, and they place it into the intestine of the person who is ill.
Okay. Now, true, that does kind of sound a little gross, but I can completely understand that. The unhealthy person who has this situation really does need the healthy bacteria, and that's the way to get it.
It's in a healthy person's poo.
Yeah. Wow. That's some serious... I was going to say it, but I guess I won't.
That's some serious shite.
Yeah, shite. Yeah, that was the word I was going to use. Not quite the pronunciation, but definitely the word.
Well, the stool has to be fresh.
Oh,
Yep. From a healthy donor. And what they
okay then.
they thin it out and then they pump it.
I knew you were going to say pump it in. They pump it in.
They pump it into a tube, thread it through the patient's nose, going right into their intestine.
And why do they have to use their nose?
Because
the nose always knows.
The nose knows.
Whoa.
So they can also give you a poop enema.
That makes a little bit more sense to me. Kind of, what goes in must come out. What goes out must come in.
You got to go back in.
Yeah. So that makes a little more sense rather than going through your nose. But,
Well, anyway, there is an easier way.
And what is that?
Poop pills.
Okay. We're back to the poop pills.
Back to the poop pills.
Okay. So these poop pills, how is this an easier way? I realized what are these poop pills made of?
Well, I'm going to tell you.
Oh, God, I'm sure you are. Oh, tell me.
Okay. The researchers at Harvard-affiliated Massachusetts General Hospital have used these capsules containing frozen fecal extracts from healthy people.
You're killing me here.
Yeah. And they've been successful at treating the diarrhea caused by the C. diff. And the diarrhea is what kills you because
because you're dehydrating yourself.
Yes, and all of the electrolytes and
everything's coming out, and you can't even replace it fast enough.
Yeah, and you have like no strength. You can't even get out of bed.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's pretty disgusting, isn't it?
It's actually very sad.
Yeah.
It's a very sad thing when your body breaks down that way. And it's like not your friend anymore. Wow. What an unbelievable situation.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, something like this can actually take months to heal.
Oh, months. Yeah.
And the person is, oh, God.
Well, if it makes it sound any better, the poo is processed. And so that, the bacteria, the good bacteria remains in the pill. The pill is swallowed. It's clean and odorless.
Now, that's a good thing. That does make it sound better. It kind of reminds me of that time that we were talking about that tea, Manure tea.
The Manure tea.
Yeah. That freaked me out. This is not as bad. Yeah.
I don't know. Speak for yourself.
Hey, if anybody wants to hear about the Manure tea, I'll be happy to tell you that story if you email me at trendradio920@gmail.com. Trust me on this. You'll be glad you did.
And we'll send you a gift certificate for asking.
Absolutely.
So anyway, the poop pill is essentially a probiotic pill.
Okay.
And the pill is it's a protective gel pill. So
the gel will break down, and then then the frozen, the freeze-dried,
yes,
sanitary poo with the good bacteria is wrapped up in that little gel.
Yeah, and it doesn't dissolve quickly. Get deep into the digestive
It's like
tract.
gel caps.
Yeah.
So once the medicine, it takes a while for it to break down the gel, and then the medicine is there.
The gel pill is actually in your intestine before it breaks down and lets out the... Yeah. So hopefully that odorless poo will prove an effective way and a very original way of delivering good bacteria to your belly.
I sure hope so. Yeah, you certainly want to get better.
You sure do. The poop pill.
Pop a poop pill.
You'll be glad you did. I'm Anthony Vincent of Anthony Vincent Salon. Time for another fun and fabulous beauty tip with our tip chick. And here she is.
Got lips? Want that perfect pout? Find the hue that's right for you. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Shape, stain, and shimmer. Same shade. Say hello to beautiful.
Email us now from AnthonyVincentSalon.com. Remember, for the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Call us now at 609-448-2212. You'll be glad you did. And now for the fun facts on finance.
From a feminine point of view, our very own Dina Cobran
of DC Alexander Wealth Management. Most of us are saving for a few things all at once, like retirement, college, and emergencies. Saving for emergencies is a little bit tricky and a little bit vague. What can you tell us about about emergency savings?
That's a good question because that is very vague. What people mean or what professionals mean about emergency is let's say you lose your job. Let's say your roof collapses and you need a new roof. Let's say your car breaks down and you need to replace your tires or your radiator or engine. Any kind of little emergency that one person has, that's what we're talking about. So most people talk about saving for losing your job, like 3 to 6 months of your monthly expenses, right? What do you think about when
But that
people say
doesn't include
emergency?
your emergency.
Right, exactly. That only includes the main emergency of losing your income and having to scramble to replace that income. What do you think of when emergency,
Illness.
right? Anthony?
The roof leaking.
Right, because you have roofs that you got to cover. So that's the thing. It's very subjective. And so when you look at saving for your emergency, 3 to 6 months is really not enough money, right? Because other things could happen. Illnesses could take people through lots of more money than their income is providing them. So it's, I would say that should be something people should plan for as best as possible because we never know what emergency is going to hit us.
True. Like a cyclone.
A cyclone, a hurricane. I mean, we're in the East Coast, so we don't have too many things, but we do have floods. So we know a lot of people got hit with that flood and they were never able to rebuild. So that was an emergency nobody could ever predict, I think.
That's the thing about emergencies. You can't predict them.
Right.
You know, you don't know when the asteroid's coming and hitting your house.
Right,
You know,
right.
and then you have a hole in your roof, like Anthony was talking about, the roof caving in.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that people need to not only just say, all right, this is my one emergency account, but you have to have other accounts that you can tap into for emergency that are non-retirement accounts. So you could tap into a non-retirement account without penalties as long as you make sure that you're planning additional savings.
So, in other words, your 3 to 6 month savings is if you lose your job or out of work for 3 to 6 months, it pays the household expenses, the rent, the lights, the food,
Basic
right,
utilities.
basic
and such.
utilities, just so that you still have a roof and over your head and you're eating. Then a second emergency fund would be if you need tires on the car or, your water pump goes on your
Or
car.
an illness.
Oh, okay.
That kind of thing, too.
A minor illness.
Right.
Now, when Elise said medical expenses, what came to my head was major medical expenses
Right.
of $100,000. Now, are there things that you can do for your clients that if, God forbid, they had a $100,000 medical bill, there was something that you had already advised them on to protect them against these $100,000?
Well, obviously, people need to have health insurance, and they need to make sure that they can afford the best health insurance that they can afford to buy. That's a huge problem that we're facing now, and don't get me started about Obamacare.
Don't worry. Don't get me started about it.
But, that's really important for medical expenses. And there's, you have to have the proper home insurance for your home insurance. If you live in a flood area, you got to have the proper flood insurance. So any of these expenses on their own, you can cover. Your disability, that's very, very important to have disability insurance. I can tell you that there's too many people that do not have disability insurance that absolutely 150% should have it. And I just think that it's something that they think is a waste of money, but it's a very high percentage of people that actually need disability
They
insurance.
think it's a waste of money until they need it, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Every insurance is a waste of money until you need it. So
Are these items that you can help people with also?
absolutely. I do a lot of insurance planning for people and, emergency monies. Of course, that's just regular business for me.
And where can people reach you?
Well, they can go email me at dcobrin, Kobrin, at nextfinancial.com.
Email Dina for your financial needs and your insurance needs.
You'll be
Email-
glad you did.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Next Financial Group Incorporated, member FINRA/SIPC. DC Alexander Wealth Management is not an affiliate of Next Financial Group Incorporated. 2346 Route 33, Suite 307, Robbinsville, New Jersey 08691. Phone number 609-945-7330.
I'm Anthony Vincent of Anthony Vincent Salon. Time for another fun and fabulous beauty tip with our tip chick. And here she is.
Got flat hair? Want to blow it up? Squeeze and tease. You're volumized. Now it's supersized. Say hello to beautiful.
Want your beauty question answered on the air? Email us now from AnthonyVincentSalon.com. Remember, for the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Call us now at 609-448-2212. You'll be glad you did.
If you're just joining us now, your favorite salon is now your favorite radio show.
We make you healthier, wealthier, and sexier every time you listen.
Tune in to us.
I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
We are Trend Radio.
Yes, we are. And are you okay?
Well, it depends who you ask.
You're looking a little peaked.
Really? Maybe my blood sugar's a little low.
Aw.
That my
That
love
is
life
going
has
to
been
ruin your love life.
It sure will. And have I been a little cranky too?
Sometimes you're a little cranky, yes.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. You don't need a study to tell that you get irritable when you go too long without eating.
Yes, you do get irritable. Yes, you do. You know what? Oh, it reminds me of that Snickers commercial, Yeah. It's like, Marsha Brady, and the Jan thing. Yeah, you could use a Snickers right now.
Well, I guess I need a Snickers because it definitely is affecting my love life. And when I say my, I mean the vernacular my.
Of course, I know exactly what you mean. And so do our listeners, because it's never just about us. It's always the vernacular.
Always. Now, according to an Ohio State University study published in Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences,
Okay.
it says the lower your blood sugar, the more likely you are to take it out on your partner.
Always. Mm-hmm. Which is really, really awful, but the truth. But we always, hurt the ones we love.
Yes, we do. And this research involved the use of voodoo dolls.
Voodoo dolls?
Voodoo dolls.
Voodoo. Hoodoo, you do.
You remind me of the
Voodoo.
man.
Voodoo. What?
You remind me of the man.
What man?
The man with the power.
The man with the power.
The power.
What power?
Hoodoo.
Hoodoo.
You do.
I do what?
Remind me of the man.
I remind you of a man?
The man with the power.
I am not a man. What power are you talking about?
Hoodoo.
Stop it. I can't take it anymore. Stop it. You're freaking me out. Talk to me about the voodoo dolls.
Alrighty. 107 married couples began by completing a survey about their relationship.
Okay.
Alrighty. Then they were given voodoo dolls and they were told represented their spouse.
Oh, God.
They got along with 51 pins.
51 pins?
51 pins.
Did anyone stick the voodoo doll with all those pins?
Well, those pins measured their level of anger.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm. At the end of the day,
oh, God.
the participants were to insert anywhere from 0 to 51 pins into the doll.
Oh, God.
According to how angry they were with their spouse.
That's very interesting.
Without their spouse present.
Of course. But they weren't fed anything either, were they? I have a feeling that this study they starved these people so that their blood sugar level went down. Then they gave them these dolls that said represented their spouse along with 51 pins. Think about this for just a minute. I have a feeling some of those women stuck a lot of pins in those little dolls.
Well, it's funny you talked about their
Let me
glucose.
ask you a question. Are you sure that it was their spouse or was it their co-host that the voodoo doll, represented?
We're going to talk about that. Don't you worry about it then.
Okay.
Alrighty. Each person used the blood glucose meter to measure the glucose levels before eating breakfast and every night before bed.
Okay.
So it seems the lower their blood glucose levels in the evening, the more pins they stuck into the doll.
I told you. I knew that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You are so smart. You're not only cute and beautiful and healthier, wealthier, and sexier.
Because I'm listening.
And so am I.
I know.
Well, so in order to measure the aggression, they took this study just a little bit further.
Okay. How much further?
Well, what they did is they blasted the participants, their spouse, with loud noise through these headphones.
Oh, God.
And
See, that would make me crazy.
Mhm.
If my blood sugar was, first of all, you know me when I'm irritated. And secondly, if I'm listening to something loud, I'm really irritated. Oh, God, that poor doll.
Yeah. Well, you're absolutely right, because those participants with the lowest glucose levels stuck more pins into those voodoo dolls.
I'm sure they did.
And they also blasted their spouses because they had control over the volume. They blasted their spouse with longer and louder noise blasts.
I believe they did. So how many of those dolls survived?
Sadly to say, not a one.
What happened to the dolls?
Well, the researchers noted that the reason the low blood sugar makes people more prone to anger and aggression is that glucose is fuel for the brain, and that's needed for self-control.
Correct.
Yeah. And the brain is only 2% of our body weight, but it consumes about 20% of our calories. And it is, the brain is a very demanding organ when it comes to energy.
And it needs it.
Yeah, and as you know, the brain is my second favorite organ.
Yes, I know. But do you want to tell everybody what your first favorite organ is?
My Wurlitzer.
You are just unbelievable. You're unbelievable.
Now, if you don't eat for 4 hours, your blood sugar levels crash. Now, as the brain...
That is true.
Yep. As the brain needs energy, it is the first to feel the effects, starting with brain fog.
Wow. Brain fog.
Mm-hmm.
You can get brain fog from all kinds of things.
Oh, yeah. We talked about that in other shows.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not eating is very, very crucial, though, to that.
Mm-hmm. The adrenal glands also will pump out adrenaline when we don't eat for 4 hours, which causes the heart rate to speed up. And as the body is flooded with more stress hormones, you get that shaky feeling, you get headaches, you get anxiety, you experience anger, aggression, mood swings, which may be taken out on your unfortunate spouse or co-hosts.
Yes, that's true.
So, to prevent this unpleasant situation from ruining your love life, keep your emotions in check and your blood sugar level stable.
And to do that, you this is going to sound like an oxymoron, but it's absolutely the truth. Don't eat sugar. Your body actually does not need sugar. To keep yourself stable, you actually need real food. Because while sugar can fuel the brain, sugar ingredients like high fructose syrup, cane juice, and sucrose, although they initially make you feel better, but then you're going to crash. You're going to crash when you're no longer eating them.
Yeah, that's why a lot of bodybuilders, weightlifters, athletes, they'll eat every 3 or 4 hours.
I actually think that you should even eat more than that. I mean, every 2 hours, you can put something in your mouth. Mm-hmm. It could be something simple. A piece of fruit, a vegetable, a good carb, a grain, something like that. Even if it's just a bite, it
Not
keeps
a
you
Snicker
going.
bar, though.
Yeah, you don't want to eat the Snickers. I was kidding before because of the commercial. And don't skip any meals. If you wait too long in between your meals, you're going to crash. It creates that sugar drop, that blood sugar drop, and you don't want that. 4 hours is kind of long, so you always want to make sure you have something. And keep healthy snacks, at hand. I always, how I always have things like...
Yeah, you always do.
I always have stuff in my bag, good high fiber bars, those little peanuts, nuts, good, almonds, raw nuts, always good.
When I was working out for that bodybuilding contest, a couple of years ago, in my car, I had a suitcase filled with raisins and almonds and all kinds of things that would keep my, body's furnace fueled
Right.
the entire time.
Right. And it's really
It makes a difference.
It
yeah.
really does make a difference. And you know how you love all your smoothies with your chia seeds?
yeah.
Those are great for you. Those are great. You know, when your blood sugar drops, you turn into a person that you just don't want to be. And it affects the people that you love, you know, especially your co-host. You have to be very careful there.
That's right. You got to be careful how you treat your co-host.
Absolutely. It's imperative to a good lifestyle.
So, does it matter what kind of things that you eat?
I always think it matters what you put in your mouth.
Okay. Alrighty.
You know, and especially what you swallow.
Oh yeah, yeah. So, so tell me what.
He's blushing.
What's your favorite cut of meat?
My favorite cut of meat. Well, I'm really actually not going to say on the air what my favorite cut of meat is.
I thought it was a rib steak.
No,
No?
it's not.
Oh,
That's one of yours. You like that marbling effect because
That's
it's
right.
very flavorful and tasty.
all right. Would
I like a filet mignon.
oh, excuse me.
I do.
That's the princess in you.
Is it?
Well, I think it
There's a
is.
little Jap, little Jewish American princess there.
Would you eat a brain burger?
I'm sure that I would. After the cockroach, I would pretty much eat anything at this point.
How about aged cheese loaded with wiggly maggots?
Yeah, no. If there was something wiggling in my cheese, I'm not about to eat. Nope. I gotta be honest. No.
Every piece of real cheese that you eat has microscopic
don't do it.
maggots all over it.
You're killing me. Okay.
All right. What about fried tarantula or ant larvae?
You just can't stop, can you?
No. When I'm on a roll, I just keep going.
What is with you and the bugs and the poop and the boy stuff? He's like a 5-year-old in a big man's body. Okay, that's what he is.
Some people find these things to be a delicacy.
I don't. It's the princess in me.
Well, your favorite supermarket's fresh and frozen food section may not carry poisonous pufferfish or live.
Thank God.
Yeah, or live baby octopus.
You see what he's got on his brain, guys?
octopuses.
See, guys? He can't even stop. Everything has a poo on the end of it.
Well, you might be surprised what this particular shopper found in a very popular Los Angeles Asian market.
Tell me why. You know what? I'm never surprised when something comes out of your mouth. I'm never surprised.
Well, raccoons.
Raccoons.
Yes, raccoons.
Oh no!
Fur and all frozen inside a plastic bag.
Why? Why?
It's a delicacy.
It's not.
It is.
Davy Crockett didn't think it was a delicacy. He wears that raccoon hat, you know?
These raccoons were completely intact with bloody fur, frozen.
What's the reason?
Well, I'm going to tell you. They were inside one of those clear plastic bags.
But what's the reason that people would want to eat raccoon? And like that? I mean, if you're going to eat it, can't they clean it like a chicken?
And they do. And there's a video. You can Google it over at the LA Times called LA Times / frozen raccoon.
Why? Why would you want to see this? Why would you want to see them kill and skin a raccoon?
So you learn how to do it.
Because I need to know.
Well, even though the health department has taken raccoons out of this particular market, the store representatives say that there's nothing wrong with selling these little food sources.
Pure little animals that don't really hurt anybody.
Well, they've been doing it for years. And by the way, the
What
supermarket,
does raccoon taste like?
like chicken.
No, really. Do you know?
I've never had it. But this particular supermarket also sells organic produce and notes that raccoon is a very popular ingredient in many dishes.
I can't even understand this.
Well-
But I am curious if it's like, if it tastes like,
We'll see if we can get some.
I don't want to taste it.
Well,
I just want you to taste it.
okay. But, you know,
And then
what,
tell me.
what about those wild game markets? They're selling alligator, buffalo, beaver. I love beaver. And
Stop.
snake, and small annoying children. They taste a lot like chicken if you fry them up just right.
And then 5-year-old men still stuck in a big body. They're selling them too.
Well, I got to tell you that raccoon meat made it into the very first edition of The Joy of Cooking in 1931.
Really?
Yes. Yep.
Really?
Yep.
In 1931.
1931, they used raccoon, and it is in the book. We're going to have to look that up.
Yes, I'm going to definitely look that up.
Well, the raccoon aficionados say that it's very labor intensive to prepare, but it is worth the time.
Wow.
Yeah. Raccoon is known as the other dark meat.
The other dog meat.
And it's also one of the healthiest meats you can eat, according to biologist Jeff Beringer.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you get a raccoon and you prepare it, I will eat it.
Okay. So we're going to look, and although I'm going to look for this fresh frozen raccoon, it probably is not going to be in my local supermarket, but I know that this meat is sold in various places throughout the.
I will find where you can buy it.
Okay.
You just have to prepare it.
I will.
I wouldn't be able
I'm
to.
going to watch that video, and it goes for only $3 to $7 a pound.
Wow.
Yep. And one raccoon feeds 5 adults.
Wow. Pretty cost effective there.
Yes, it is. And you know, people consume raccoon regularly, right here in the United States.
Other states, not
New Jersey. Yes, Missouri, Kansas, West Virginia, Georgia, and most people trap or shoot the raccoons themselves.
Well, I guess it's kind of healthier than eating French fries.
Oh yeah, this meat is healthier than a lot of things, especially French fries made with silly putty, which we're going to talk about in another show about French fries made with silly putty.
I love silly putty.
Yeah. Now, what I want you guys to do is I want you to Google Serious Eats. It explains in detail how to skin and prepare your raccoon.
Ooh, yummy.
In case you're interested. Yummy, yummy. You've been listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot and what's not every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Learn and laugh with us anytime, any place. Go right to our website, AnthonyVincentSalon.com. Click away and listen today.
And if you have a topic of interest that you want us to talk about, or you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us now at trendradio920@gmail.com. You'll be glad you did.
And remember, your smile is your logo, your personality is your business card.
And how you make people feel becomes your trademark.
I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
We'll talk to you next week.
Bye for now.